You're watching Indus Bank presents Cheer for Greatness. We're into the final round of league stage fixtures in the 2023 Men's ODI World Cup. Match number 41 is New Zealand versus Sri Lanka. New Zealand looking to assure their spot in the knockout rounds. Sri Lanka trying to make sure they qualify for the Champions Trophy. We've got Steve Harmison here to set things up for us. Lots riding for both teams in very different sort of situations. Who are the favourites for this one?
I think New Zealand are the favourites, even though they're on a four-game losing streak. I think New Zealand are not only the favourites, I think whenever they are backs to the wall and somebody needs to stand up, I think their captain is now back fully ingrained in the team, Kane Williamson, and he, for me, is a key component to making sure that New Zealand qualify for the knockout stages in the semi-finals. So I make New Zealand favourites, and I think Kane Williamson is the man who, I think if he stands up, I think he'll go a long way to propelling New Zealand into a semi-final spot.
Yeah, it's been 2 decades since we had a Men's ODI World Cup which did not have New Zealand in the Final Four. If Sri Lanka are to stop that, what is their best route?
Knock the top order over. That's it. Kane Williamson, Rachin Ravindra, the way they've been playing, they need to knock the sort of New Zealand top order over. They've got somebody who is in prime form, Madushanka, who has bowled beautifully so far in this tournament. He's bowled with good skill at the top with a brand new ball, got it to swing, and then when it's got a bit older and it's come a little bit later on in the middle overs and at the end, he's used his very, very knowledgeable cricket brain to bowl into the pitch, bowl from around the wicket and block the angles down. He's been mighty impressive so far for Sri Lanka in this tournament. So if Sri Lanka want any chance of winning, I think he's going to have to have a good day, especially with a new ball.
And New Zealand finally have the full complement of players to choose from. Tell us the one player who you will be cheering for in this contest in Bangalore.
I think you've got to look at the captain. You've got to look at the captain who they've gambled on being fit, first and foremost, coming into the tournament after 9 months out with an ACL injury, and then he gets another injury. Do you then replace him? And you go, no, it's Kane Williamson. There's nobody replaces Kane Williamson. So because of that, I think Kane will make sure that he is ready and fighting for his country to get to that semi-final spot. 20 years is a long time for New Zealand not to be there. So I'd imagine their captain will want to make sure that he is in the best position possible to toss the coin in the semi-final for his team to get there.
If I may, you know who I'll be cheering for the most? Angelo Matthews. I want to see him bat.
Yes, I want to see him. I want to see him end his career in 50-over cricket on a positive note, because I think, like a lot of people around the world, think that Angelo Matthews was hard done by in the last game. So for him to go out in style with a smile on his face, as opposed to a little bit of controversy and a frown on his face, I think will be fitting for a fantastic career that Angelo's had.
We also keep asking our fans to chip in with their comments, who they will be cheering for in all these contests. And the top comment of this one comes from Charul Patwardhan, who says, I'm cheering for New Zealand to win this, need to win this one. The semis beckon and Bengaluru will witness yet another 350-plus score from the Kiwis. That's another reason why Indians are cheering for New Zealand. They want to get one back. And if New Zealand do win this, the likeliest semi-final becomes India versus New Zealand at Wankhede. And aren't Indian fans waiting for a rematch? Yes,
Indian fans will want to play at the Wankhede Stadium. I think they'll want to play against... To say they want to play against New Zealand, yes, there's revenge and a rematch, but I think the New Zealand game will be a lot harder than the Pakistan game. I think that will be a mighty tough game, especially if New Zealand new ball bowlers get the ball in the right area. So I'm not sure if I was an Indian fan who I'd want in the semi-final. I'd potentially be shouting for Sri Lanka to win this game, and I think the Pakistan game might be an easier game to play.
Steve Harmison has called it. That does it from us on setting up New Zealand versus Sri Lanka. This was Indus Bank presents Cheer for Greatness.